What's up, everybody? ArrgThePirate here, and today we're gonna play a little Hercules in the solo lane. Now, I'm not very good with him, but I did feature him in that top 10 hero or gods to master or play with when starting out with Smite, and it's about time I did a video over him. Well, before we get into the gameplay, let's go over what I'll be building on Hercules. I have Warrior's Blessing, Chalice of Healing, Teleport Glyph, and then I'm going to start building into Hide of the Lion. And since Hercules has such great movement speed, I'm thinking we can get away with not picking up boots early, and that will really help us in lane. Now, our first 6 items should be Warrior's Blessing, Hide of the Lion, Warrior Tabby, Pestilence, Shoguns, and Frostbound Hammer. And then lastly, we can swap out Warrior's Blessing for Void Shield, Brawler's Beat Stick, Breastplate of Valor, or Mystical Mail. Really, it's kind of situational, you know. If you're dealing with someone with a lot of lifesteal, like an Anubis or something like that, you can pick up Brawler's Beat Stick a lot earlier and just kind of help shut them down. As well as, you know, that Breastplate of Valor is just a really good item all in all. Mystical Mail has that dot damage or that AoE damage, and Void Shield, you know, it's got that aura that reduces physical protection, as well as, you know, giving you a little bit more health, things like that. So really, you know, the last item when you drop that Warrior's Blessing is really just kind of up to you. Now, since I went over Hercules' kit in that top 10 video, I'm not going to really cover his kit in this. We'll just kind of talk about his combo. Now, really ideally what you want to do is use your 2 to displace that enemy, and really 2, if you hit them in that sweet spot, what it does is it throws you right to them. And then you try, you know, very quickly circle around to the other side of them and use your 1 to charge them closer or deeper into your minion wave. You know, in that way your minions start teeing off on them as well. And that's just really a great way to separate enemies, things like that. And you can see the enemy Hercules is just tearing me to pieces doing this. You know, and that's really the combo you want to work on. But it all revolves around you actually landing your 2, and then once you land your 2, you have to preemptively start moving. If you wait to see if you actually hit your 2, you're not going to be fast enough to actually get on the other side of them and hit them with that 1. So anytime you use 2, just basically assume that you got it. But really, I'm not very good at it. So now his 3, you know, his 3 has that great heal, and when you go into a fight, you know you're gonna take like a ton of damage in the beginning. You can pop that 3, and all that damage is, you know, kind of refunded. You know, one reason Hercules made it into that top 10 list is just the simplicity of his kit. You know, it's really just displace the enemy team, and, you know, and then have heals, and then your 4 or your ultimate is giant damage, and it could go through the entire team. So really, you're just a damage dealing in the way tank, you know, and that's really how you play him. He's absolutely a blast to play, and really the one thing I have definitely noticed is if you are newer to Hercules, if you use your abilities like your 1 or your 2 to when the team fight is actually going on, a lot of the times you end up letting those enemies escape, or you might actually, you know, waste someone's ultimate because, you know, you knocked them up or pushed them out of the way when someone was using, you know, a skill shot ultimate, things like that. That happens quite a bit to me when I see, whenever I'm playing with other Hercules, as well as, you know, I think there's a couple of times in this match where it happens. So choosing the time and place to use your abilities is absolutely huge. Now from here, I'm going to get back in lane. You know, I was able to finish up that lion chest piece, and guys, we're tanky now. You know, we do have some rotation from the enemy jungler, but that's quite alright. The enemy jungler is a physical damage hero, so I'm protected against both of them, and then I get that 25% reflected damage, which, you know, hey, that's huge. Now Hercules is tanking some minions, which, you know, yeah, he's getting a little bit of poke. And if you see here, we were finally able to get a combo on him. We end up getting Mercury ulted there, though, so we weren't able to get a, you know, that definitely stopped us from pursuing Hercules anymore, but that's quite alright. And you can see we are very tanky, guys. We're taking these hits from Mercury, and, you know, we're not concerned about it at all. We're just kind of waiting for something to happen. You can see our jungler is rotating over, so if he shows up, maybe we can actually get a kill. I go ahead and throw that ult. You know, I was hoping to get a stun there, but no problem. We end up actually taking out the enemy Mercury, but the enemy Hercules ends up, you know, we trade jungles there. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going to get some tower damage, though, so, you know, making the best out of a bad situation. It happened okay. You know, I would have definitely liked Mercury to survive there, but no problem at all. We go ahead and poke down those minions a little bit, but we're not going to get out of lane. You see, we displace those minions, and that's one thing you can do. You can hit that entire line, and a lot of the times flip the range minions to where the melee minions are, and then you hit them with that rush, and they get tons of damage on them, and that's really how you want to clean those lanes up. And of course, as we all know, pushing lanes is what Smite's all about. Now from here, I'm going to pick up my blue camp and then get into lane. I'm actually going to just shove this lane and then head back to base. And, you know, I go ahead and throw some boots on, and then I see something's going down in our mid lane. So instead of running over there, I'm just going to teleport. You know, it'd have been... I just saved myself just a couple of seconds, but those couple of seconds might be the life or death of somebody. We head over into this jungle, and, you know, Mercury is here. We end up just absolutely deleting him, but, you know, my team is pretty low, and that the elephant guy's ultimate, you know, my entire team was standing in it, and it's just so much damage. I'm trying my best to get over to our ADC. Hopefully I can, you know, keep him from going down. He ends up going down. I mean, it is what it is, guys. We definitely lost that team fight by only taking one of them out. We really need to get out of this situation, though. And, you know, that just break off. Hopefully when everybody spawns back in, we'll be okay. But just get out of that situation. You know, Mercury showed back up. We don't need to go back into that. We lost. Let's just, you know, let's just accept it. Say we lost, and lick our wounds, get back in lane, make sure it's going in the right direction, and just kind of start that laning phase again. And that's exactly what we're going to do. You know, just get back in lane and, you know, kind of clean up our blue camp, get it taken out. You know, taking that mana is nice. So, you know, getting your mana camp is definitely nice. And try to pick it up as much as possible, even if the jungler isn't helping you. You know, that's okay. Now, the enemy Hercules is here, and we're both on that same kind of level. You know, we're both level 10. We've done pretty decent job of farming. You know, we've just kind of been poking back and forth, and I believe we're even on kills at this point as well. So, you know, we're very much the same, and picking a fight with him is just going to be exhausting because, you know, it's two Greystones fighting each other, basically. Now, we're going to go in on this Mercury. You know, we were able to head to mid, and guys, we delete him. We use our ultimate the wrong way. That wasn't what I was trying to do there, but hey, is what it is. We wrapped up that kill, and that's huge. We got a double kill in mid lane, and then we're actually going to head over to the Gold Fury and hopefully take it out. Now, just like in Paragon, when you go in on the Gold Fury, if your T1s are still up, you might lose them. You know, and that's the choice you have to make. You know, do you want to make that sacrifice? And, you know, I saw the position of where my lane was, and I said, you know, yeah, we could definitely do that. We end up actually having to go to mid after we take the Gold Fury out, just because there is a huge team presence here. And so, you know, we need to be careful of that, and we're getting CC'd like crazy. But you can see, guys, we've got quite a bit of protection on, and we were able to do quite a bit of work there. We're going to go in on that Mercury, and, you know, we end up getting appled, which feels bad. I'm going to throw my ultimate to maybe bounce around in there and take someone out. And then Discordia's there. If my 2 would have been off a cooldown, we would have got her. Oh, feels bad. But she stayed in. missed my 2. You guys, I'm absolutely terrible with just Hercules kit. You know, the whole thing is about landing that 2, and I just have not learned how to land his 2 yet. But, you know, with time, that will definitely show up. But I'm going to disengage from that fight, head back to my lane. You know, we definitely took some damage on this tower. You know, we were winning that tower, you know, damage game at whenever I left, and you can see we're about even now. So I'd like my lane to get pushing in the right direction, hopefully take their tower out. Now, after I do get my tower, I'm going to pick up my blue, and then I'm actually going to back to base and hopefully get back in lane fast enough. Sure enough, we have our glyph, so we're able to just zip right over there. We didn't put in our other relic. Guys, it just does not even occur to me to use relics. It really doesn't. So I'm just god-awful with them. But, you know, we'll get there one of these days, guys. Now you can see their Hercules is he's definitely played Hercules more than once or twice, and he's landing these combos. But you can see I'm tanky, guys. Getting into a fight with him it's just two, you know, muscle-bound mongoloids just beating each other up for no real reason, because we're not gonna do any damage to each other. And you can see, I mean, that's exactly what's happening here. You know, one of us is slowly losing. I meant to use my 3 there, and I ended up using my ultimate in the wrong way again. But, you know, yeah, again, getting into two Hercules getting into a fight is borderline pointless. Now we end up just continuing to poke each other back and forth, and then finally Mercury shows up. So, you know, hey, we're at an advantage. You know, maybe we can actually make something happen. He dashed out of that knock-up, which feels bad. But, you know, hopefully we can actually push him into tower. Sure enough, we're able to do it there. He ended up pushing me back out, but that's quite all right. We wrap up that kill. Awesome. You know, that was great. Their team actually rotates over, so, you know, we're in a dangerous situation. We need to get out of here as quickly as possible. We're able to push the Elephant Man under tower, and he takes a couple of hits, but, you know, I'm not super healthy anymore. I've got plenty of mana, so, you know, that 3's on a very long cooldown, but, you know, I can stay in lane. I should be able to wrap up quite a bit of this. Now, I ended up just charging right away instead of knocking those minions into tower, because I saw them leaving, and I figured I could get out of tower quickly enough, and then their ADC shows up, and she's kind of poking me, so I'm thinking, I'll try to knock her into tower, and, you know, hey, if we're able to do that, great. She was just out of range of that, but, feels bad. I'm gonna go ahead and stay in lane. You know, I looked like I was backing just so she backed off. I was hoping that little trick might work. And I'm gonna clean this lane up, and then I'm actually going to head to mid. My lane should be reset at this point, so hopefully those minions, you know, they stay in the middle and fight. I really need to get to the mid lane, though, because there is a huge presence there. You know, they were all over at my tower just a second ago, and they went to mid. So we're gonna go in. You know, my mid laners here, I'm just trying to do everything I can to keep them alive, keep my mid laners alive. Hey, and if we get a kill, great. Mercury ends up snagging that ADC kill, which is absolutely amazing, and he also picked up the Mercury kill as well, so great double kill. You know, we did sacrifice ourselves for that, but hey, that's quite alright. We kept our mid laner safe, and, you know, we kept our squishy heroes safe, and that also allowed Mercury to rotate over and wrap up those kills. And then you can see my team shows up healthy again. They wrap up another kill. That was great. You know, it's unfortunate that I went down, but, you know, I went down to be that distraction so my team could get out, come back healthy, and get those kills. And sure enough, it worked. Now, from here, I'm going to actually head down my lane. I thought about teleporting, but, and then I see Hercules is pushing it, but, I should get over there fast enough. Sure enough, I did. I went ahead and reset my lane. Now, it is not set, it's just reset. So it might push against me, but from here, I'm going to rotate to mid, make sure mid is pushing in the right direction, and then you see we've got a presence in the jungle, so I'm gonna head over. You know, Thoth was just there. We need to make sure he's staying safe, and you can see, guys, we're starting to hurt. We're doing work on that Mercury. I ended up getting knocked into this square of doom, and, you know, it is what it is. We do take out Mercury there, but now I've got to peel for my team. I've got to peel for my Thoth, my squishy heroes, basically. And since the Elephant Man, you know, his stuff's, or since Hercules' stuff was on cooldown, let's try to take out the Elephant Man. We don't quite get him, and then we ended up getting appled, which feels bad. But my ADC did manage to secure their support, which is great. And hopefully from here we can take out Discordia as well. I have to be able to land my stun, guys. Sure enough, we end up finally landing it. Push her right into the middle of the enemy team, or our team. Take her out. You know, that great play. Hercules is, you know, Hercules is a tank, guys. He's so tough to deal with. So, you know, that's why I just kind of split off from him. But we did quite a bit of damage on that enemy ADC there. Hopefully we can wrap that kill up. I'm going to chase it down a little bit, and sure enough, guys, we're going to be able to take her out. It feels great. And then Mercury ends up showing up, and these staggered deaths are absolutely amazing. We're keeping the enemy team very, very staggered, and this is great. You know, this is exactly what we want. We're going to end up pushing mid lane. You know, I was going to go back to my lane, but yeah, well, let's all stack up and push mid lane, and, you know, that's where we head. Now, one thing in Smite, since kill times are so quick, when the enemy team shows back up after getting a bunch of kills like that, you got to get out. You have to get out. You know, and me being the kind of big frontliner I am, you know, I need to stay in these fights. I need to stay engaged in these fights if that's where my team is. And you can see, staying engaged in those fights it never ends well. It always ends very, very poorly. And, you know, we got 3 deaths there. We need to leave this fight, though. You know, Mercury, I'm waiting for him to get out. And we are able to take out Discordia, but, you know, we need to get out of this fight very, very badly. And Mercury ends up going down there. You know, I'm trying to stay into the fight because, you know, I'm the guy that should be in that fight. So, you know, that's why I'm staying in. But we end up getting a team wipe. You know, coming from a team wipe, we end up getting a team wipe. And, you know, that was just a bad play. Really, once you get a big great push like that, go pick up Gold Fury or something like that. You know, there's no sense in all stacking in a lane when the death timers are still only, you know, 20-30 seconds. When they're that slow, you're not going to have enough time to shove a tower unless you have someone tank it. And you could see that's a perfect example of when, you know, we were all there. We were all in mid. It was a 5v5 in mid. They just had the tower advantage, and they destroyed us. Now, once we spawn back in, we finally remember to use, or to put on Blink, and guys, it was perfect time to remember to put on a Relic. We head over to this team fight, and you see here, we're going to go ahead and teleport in. We take out their ADC just right away. Then we end up getting a kill onto Mercury, which is awesome. I throw my boulder at the elephant guy, and, you know, that square he puts down hurts. It hurts so bad. But, you know, is what it is. We try to get that grab onto Discordia, but, again, guys, I'm just not familiar enough with his grab. It's very hard to hit people that are running away for me. You know, and it's just, I don't know what I'm doing. Now, we end up diving this tower, which, you know, I'm just not familiar with that either. You know, it doesn't make sense to me that you can just walk under a tower and delete it like that. You know, I just don't understand that, but I need to get better at it. Now, we made some great progress there. Now would be a perfect time to go pick up another objective. My damage dealers are very low. We need to get out of this situation. And unfortunately, my team just has a different idea. And, you know, if they're staying in, you know, I feel like I should be staying in as well. But we should really get out of this situation, guys. And you can see I definitely did try to leave. But, you know, it just wasn't happening. I'm trying to take out Mercury. He gets very, very low, but you can see the enemy team's starting to spawn back in. We just need to get out. And the enemy Hercules ends up taking out my entire team. I'm gonna stay in on him. You know, maybe I can take him out. Hopefully, salvage something. But you know, it's a bad situation. We should have left a long time ago. We end up dying, and you know, we should have left and gone and picked up Gold Fury, or picked up even we might have even been able to get Fire Giant. You know, it's very disheartening when your team just stays in like that. And you can see that towards the end, I just said, I guess I'll try to kill him, you know. But really, guys, once you take an objective, turn around and leave. Turn around and leave and go pick up another objective. Go for another tower. Go for those side objectives. Go pick up Pyromancer. You know, there's a ton of other things to do other than just stay there at that tower and die. And we've done that twice now, you know. Feels bad, man. Once I spawn back in, I'm actually going to teleport to our solo lane. You know, you can see after that team wipe, you know, after that staggered team wipe, you know, the entire game is flipped back onto us. You know, now I would say we're about in the same match when we were definitely winning before. Now the elephant guy throws down his square and then stuns me in it, and I actually end up using my ultimate right in the middle of it, and then I walk back into it. They were just body blocking me like crazy, and you know, they did a great job of keeping me in that. You know, got a ton of damage, but that did distract them quite a bit and allow my team. You know, I had a ton of focus on me, and that really allowed my team to wrap up a couple of, you know, very, very important kills, and then they end up getting a team wipe. So we lost our ADC and me for a complete team wipe, and you know, that's absolutely huge. Now's the time that we can really make those plays. You know, Fire Giant, we can get Pyromancer, we can get Gold Fury, we can, you know, push a lane, something like that. You know, now's the time to do that, and sure enough, my team capitalizes. Now, once we spawn back in, we're going to head down solo lane, get it pushing in the right direction. You know, my team does have Fire Giant, or, you know, some of us do, but I want to make sure that the lanes are pushing in the right direction. That way we can all stack up in a single lane and really just shove a lane. Then we end up getting into another team fight right here in the same part of the jungle, and you know, this is huge. The enemy team's got to stay out of this area. But we take out Mercury very, very quickly, and then you know, we end up taking out their Hercules. Great job, guys. This right here was really what kind of ended the match. And they end up surrendering, and hey, great. You know, that I would have liked to win that one. I would have liked to played it out, but we ended up doing a pretty solid job. And I gotta say, I felt pretty decent playing Hercules. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this Hercules guide. I really hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, add me on Smite, guys. Also, we have a clan Scurvy Dog crew. Feel free to join, and I'd love to play with some of y'all, so feel free to add me. Well, again, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.